2 years ago, I started work on Heinrich's Call of Cthulhu guide to Carcosa. 1 month ago, it went live on DriveThruRPG, and today, the guide is almost a gold bestseller. Let's go. Greetings, Miskatonic Repository. My name is Heinrich Moore, and this is the last Carcosa Diary. We have a few more milestones in the coming weeks, including the release of the guide for print on demand, but otherwise, the production cycle? Largely done. That's thanks to a lot of people who helped make the guide possible. Those folks include individuals like Alex Guillotte, who did so much of the beautiful art and all the layout design, people like Bucho Rodenberger, who did playtesting, proofreading, and volunteered to be the first person to play through the final release of the guide, all on Bridget Jeffries' Symphony Twitch channel, link below. The guide looks the way it does, thanks also to art by Lovelace Ace and Ben Wenham, photography by Shana Rosenberg, and so many more talented individuals. With their help, and the contributions and encouragement from so many more, there's a lot to be proud of. We hit Electrum bestseller status on DriveThruRPG in just over a week. We spent several days as part of the top 10 best-selling titles on DriveThruRPG. That's not just the Miskatonic Repository or community content programs generally, but all of DriveThruRPG. And we're still up there. By most any metric, the guide has been a success. Thanks to you. So with that good fortune banked, I thought we'd look back at the guide's creation and some of the things I tried to do to advertise it. What worked, what didn't, starting with these videos. This was the first time for me doing a series of video design diaries, and I learned a lot about recording and video editing. I also learned a lot about myself and how hard it is to regularly create this type of content. Never mind actually working on the book itself. If you've watched all of the Carcosa Diaries, you know things got pretty dark sometimes. But were the videos good for promoting the guide? I don't know. A solid maybe? I thought the videos were important to show off the creative process, and in that at least, I think they succeeded. Would I do it again though? I don't think so. Another first? A music video. Big thanks to Dan Lehman Kennedy. I had a lot of fun editing together stock footage to make the final product, and you can listen to his music at the link below. As much fun as it was though, most people who watched it said something to the effect of, well, that was interesting, but why did I just watch a 3-minute music video that didn't really tell me very much about the book itself? And fair enough. In terms of impact, a teaser trailer put together by Alex Guillotte that is less than a third as long was probably more effective from a marketing standpoint. That said, I got to work with a good friend, highlight his musical talents, and get to have a book with a theme song. So, pretty great. Definitely awesome, would do again, if you can manage it. Another first for me? A Twitch premiere. Now, this one is challenging for me to evaluate because I just wasn't in the best headspace. That said, once we got going, I think we made some pretty good TV. Bridget in the chat and Bucho as the first victim to experience the finalized Carcosa guide were both fantastic, and it was another great example of members of the community helping to promote each other. Speaking of the community, this was also the first time I came on YouTube and just asked you all for help to finish the guide. I didn't have it in me to proofread the over 80,000 words that made up the final book, and you answered the call. That was plenty inspirational, but also I received so much support from folks who did playtesting and were just there for me during those many hard moments in the creative process. It was a big reminder of the strength of this community and how important it is to contribute to it and to avail yourself of it for help. Turns out, some pretty great folks would seek help again. So the takeaway for me from all of this was that even the things that didn't work out that well in terms of marketing still held valuable lessons and experiences. This was the first time I worked on a book of this length and the first time writing a solo scenario, much less a solo campaign. Most importantly though, those who've read the guide's dedication page and afterward know that this was an intensely personal project for me. It was inspired by the passing of a family member, a brother-in-law who profoundly influenced who I am as a role player and as a writer. I am honored that the community has so well received a book that builds on the inspiration he provided me. So, I guess that's it. We can turn off the lights, put up our feet. For a little while at least. After all, there's always the next project. Until then, stay tuned for more.